Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, a pre-image circle has a center in the order pair XY. The circle was transformed to create an image circle as shown below. Which of the following rules best describes this transformation? Okay, so I'm looking for the rule that best describes the transformation that happened, right? So first of all, you need to know which one is your first or original circle, which we call it the pre-image, okay? So therefore, this is my first one, okay? This is my first circle, okay? The new image, if you notice, it says right there, it's my second circle, okay, to the left, okay? So why is it so important? Because you need to know what kind of movement is happening, but you need to start from the pre-image to the image, okay? Because if you do not recognize who's your first circle, and you're not gonna be able to give me the correct rule, okay? So with that in mind now, we are gonna use the center of the circle, which is right here in the middle, to identify what kind of movement is happening from there to my new one, which is right here. See that? Okay. So one of the things that I can do is just think about if that can be a translation, a reflection, dilation. Well, we know it's not dilation because I can see that both of the circles are congruent. They look exactly the same, so no dilation, okay? Reflection cannot be, because reflection will be that this point will be somewhere over here if it was reflected across the y, and if it was reflected across the x, it wouldn't be here. So no, I know it's not a reflection, okay? So what is happening here is gonna be a translation. So how do I decide which way to go? Well, first of all, I'm gonna go from my pre-image center and I'm gonna go up. You can actually give me the order pairs. So I'm gonna say this is A and this is A prime, okay? So that we can actually apply the rule later on, okay? So my point A is 5 and 2. This is X and this is Y. A prime, which is on the second circle, is gonna be -5 and +5. And of course, this is X and Y, okay? So we'll come back to those points in a minute. So let's do the movement here. So I'm gonna go up 1, 2, and 3 up. Is that right? So my advice is write it down. Let's write it down over here. 3 up. So if I go 3 up, show me an arrow pointing up, okay? Which I am gonna do right here. Once you do the arrow, I want you to go back and compare. Does that line look like X or Y? Is it running horizontally or vertically? It's running vertically up and down. So that should remind you of the Y. Is that right? So if it goes up, it means positive. So if it's positive, that means that my rule is gonna be Y plus 3. Okay, because I'm going 3 up. Okay, very good. Now let's go to the left to see how many units am I gonna move. We're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I got 5 so far. Let's keep on going. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we actually moved 10 to the left. I'm gonna write it down here. So let's go ahead and draw an arrow pointing to the left. There it is, right? So if it goes to the left, that means negative, okay? And if it goes to the left, that line or that arrow that I drew right now, does it look like it runs like the X or the Y axis? It's running horizontally, right? Therefore, I can relate that to X. So that's my second part of the rule. It's gonna be X minus 10. Now, why do I say minus 10? Because it was going to the left, which means negative. So my rule is gonna be, this is x and y. So what happened to the x? I'm taking away 10. And the y, I'm adding 3. Okay, so I want you to apply this rule to a, to see if it's true that I get a prime. So it says x minus 10. So x is 5, so I'm going to say 5 minus 10. And 5 minus 10 is negative 5. And that's exactly what I have right there. See that? Okay, let's look at the next one. What about y? Well, it says to the y, I'm going to add a 3. So I'm going to say 2 plus 3. And 2 plus 3 is 5, which is right here. So I can see that the rule makes my statement true about a prime. Okay, so therefore, look at the answer choices and see which one matches yours. Okay, yeah, very good. The answer should be for this letter C.